Hey, it's Susan Kennedy here with a reading for you for this supermoon in Aquarius, this full moon that's coming up on the 1st of August. Full moons always last for a period of 3 days. This reading takes into account what has been going on in the lead up from the 777, what we're experiencing now with this supermoon, and the lead into the 8-8 of the Lionsgate. I will be doing another video though fully on the Lionsgate, but there's so many interesting things been happening and so many things to talk about. There's a few themes to this week's reading, and I'm just looking down at my notes. One of them is divine timing. The other one is the germination of the ideas, the projects, and the other one is the heart-based action. And there's a lot involved with each one. The first thing I want to talk about is the divine timing, and there's so much that comes in with that, like the awakening of people who have not previously been awake to those things like angel numbers, the 1111, the 777, the 808, the 313, the 333, all those numbers that you potentially are seeing all the time at the moment. And why we're seeing those is because, as I spoke about in the last video about the 777 energy, is that our beautiful guides, our beautiful angels, all of those people who are helping us in the spirit world are activating us. They're giving us signs that this is the time. It's the time to really release. So we've got this full moon happening, 1st of August, super moon, which means it's really close to the earth. It also means that that moon energy, which governs our emotions, is super close. So it's really pulling on our emotions. And the energy of this supermoon has been in our awareness for the last few days. The energy is in Aquarius. So again, it's water bearing energy, emotions, emotions, emotions. Emotions move things. Now this divine timing energy is about understanding and releasing those things that are ready and pivotal to be released within you. So really the death of the ego, the old self, a death of the old self, a death of the way of thinking, of being, so that you let go of things like fear, which is ego-based, judgment, ego-based, beliefs that don't align with your higher self. So really those three things. And the timing is now, or the timing has been now, to face things that you may not have had the courage or the energy or the insight really to be able to face. And it's only through insight, when you see something for what it really is, that you can change it, clear it, release it. So this divine timing energy is supporting you. The numbers that you may be seeing, and I'll be interested in your comments to see what combination or variation of numbers you're seeing. I know people that are seeing things like 414, 515, or 606, 505. So there's so many combinations, if you like. And if you can take the time as well to really register that within yourself, to know that this is a perfect time for you to break free. Archangel Michael very much online with us at the moment, helping us cut cords with the past that limits us, the past that is holding us in a holding pattern. I mean, that's what holding is, isn't it? We're in a holding pattern. So we're doing the same thing over and over again. That same thing that is potentially negative, potentially not helping us. It's all that past stuff that, really, keeps us in that void energy. So the timing of this full moon, interesting this month, we've got one at the beginning of the month on the 1st and one at the end of the month. So two big energies of, let's say, the moon always shining her light down and saying, what is it within you? What is it around you What is it that you are ready to fully bring into the light? When you bring something into the light, it's actually very freeing, very releasing, very energizing, but the lead up to it can be excruciating. And you may have been feeling exceptionally tired or exceptionally frustrated with life, with your old self, you know, that one that goes round and around and around, questioning, doubting, and procrastinating. So they're the energies that are being released in this Sirian gateway. So Sirian, the Sirius energy, the energy from the planet Sirius, is really supporting us at the moment. And it's supporting us to move into the 8-8 energy, the Lionsgate, which opens up for the rest of the year. Now it opens up in an energy of heart-centered awareness. Because this year is self-mastery and we're moving into an 8-year next year, we are being encouraged, guided, supported, I won't say instructed, but guided and supported to understand ourselves at a deeper level and to understand others so that we can germinate the seeds that have been brewing within us. And it's interesting, isn't it, in life, because you can go through life with lots of ideas, lots of desires, lots of wishes, and you want this, but this part of you keeps pulling you back. So I'm seeing this push-pull energy that's been going on for most people. And what I'm seeing is that this is a time of a complete kind of a blowing away, a moving away through the breath, maybe do some breath work, but a complete dissolution of that old ego self. So Michael, very much there to help, Archangel Michael, call on him to cut those ties with the past. The germination being the understanding of what it is that you want to bring forward. It's the divine timing is saying, well, if you've done this work of clearing, if you've broken through those limiting patterns that have been very severely affecting you, then if you've done that through the mirrors of awareness, through the people that have come to you, people that you've interacted with, the people that have bugged you, you know, all that stuff where you've gone, oh my God, that person really annoys me. And when you've looked inside at what that's about, that's where your key is. Now, if you've had the courage to do the releasing, and if you haven't, then the full moon energy over the next few days is a perfect time. All this week leading into the Lionsgate, perfect time for release, 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 because under the surface is this germination. There is this actual truth energy of the capability that you have as a light worker to bring forward something that is particularly special, useful, amazing, which is that divine expression of yourself into the world at its fullest, in its brightest light. And that will be through opening your heart. So as we go into the Lionsgate energy, you'll be more and more called to open your heart to yourself first, so that you fully support yourself in every single way. That means the way you look after your physical body, the way you think about things, the way you feel about things. They're all things that you have the potential to manage at a very high level for this amazing energy that's here. So the seeds that have been germinating, what are they? Now, they are the mirrors within you that can reflect outwards. So that mirror of your beauty, your wit, your abilities in whatever those fields are. And I do know that many of you that watch this potentially aren't working, and you're saying, but how do I make a difference? Well, you make a difference every time that mirror of who you are gets turned outwards. So that mirror that we turn inwards, where we say, well, who am I really? And that's the work we've been doing. Who am I? Why do I keep doing this old stuff? How can I let it go? You know, and deciding to let it go, making that choice. That when you've done that, the mirror then becomes that you see yourself in your light. You see yourself as capable, smart, you know, all the things you want to be, basically. It's all there in you. So now is that time to turn those mirrors outwards. And you simply can do that by, and I encourage you to do this especially in the lead up to the Lionsgate, is to spend maybe 8 minutes a day. And in that 8 minutes, maybe set a timer. But imagine that you're beaming out your heart energy and just saying, this is me. This is who I am. And in that, seeing it going out, like in a way, the atomic bomb that went off. I just saw Oppenheimer the other day. And the energy of that, when it went out, reverberated across time and space and still reverberates even today. And the atomic bomb was part of splitting of an atom. You're made up of so many atoms and molecules and energy. And your energy is way more powerful than any atomic bomb. And it's got the energy for creation, not destruction. So as we go into August, which is that beautiful Leo energy, we're already in it, we're already in the Leo energy. It's bringing fire into your life, but the fire of passion, the fire of your heart, the fire of your awareness. So I would encourage you in your visualization to imagine that you're sitting with your eyes closed, you know, and that you could beam out this fire that is you, the energy that is you, and just imagine it being full of golden light, the power of the sun, the power of this energy. You know, it's really curious, isn't it, that July is governed by the moon, the Cancerian energy, and Leo governed by the sun. And these two energies are very close together. So we've got, you know, the moon, so the feminine, the emotional, in with the right next to the energy of the sun, the, you know, the action, the passion, the drive. And we've had a month of emotion, and now we've got a month of passion and drive and energy and new beginnings. So for anybody in relationship, this is a beautiful time of close connection, a lot of communication energy, a lot of willingness to break free. It's also curious as well that, you know, July and August, these months with the energy of the moon and the sun, are right in the middle basically of the year. So the next part of this year, which is self-mastery, is saying you've got to combine your masculine and your feminine. You've got to be aligned with every part of you. So not being afraid to get it wrong, being fully aligned with your intuition. Now on that point, something as well with this divine timing that I'm not sure that I already mentioned, is that there is at this time, and I'm observing it through the people that are coming to me for guidance, healing, readings, mentoring, that there's been this kind of almost lifting of the veil completely, where people that ordinarily wouldn't have seen themselves as psychic or intuitive are having this complete awakening, where they're seeing the signs, they're having these amazing synchronicities. It's amazing. They're seeing the numbers and they're going, why do I keep seeing these numbers? Why is this happening? What's happening here? How come I can read that person's thoughts? How come I can feel everything that they feel? It's there because the timing is now for us to bring into life, into being, our full light. Your projects, whatever they are, will come to success. It's not about that. It's about you bringing your full energy of your full persona into this time and space. And there's never been a bigger time on our planet where we need everybody to actually understand this in a really beautiful way. That it's not about doing anything. It's just about being your best self. So that's the collapse of the ego, because the ego thinks it's separate. It thinks it's not good enough. Whereas the soul energy and the heart energy that we're moving into has kindness and love and compassion, and knows that we're all connected, and knows that there isn't anything to do except to be that. So I really love this time. You may be aware, though, that people either in your family or your friends or people that you know may be struggling at, at a deep level with their mental health. And they may be struggling because there's parts of them that can't forgive things that have happened either to them or that they've done in their past. And when you come in just with love and acceptance, then and no need to understand or talk about it, but just to be in support of them through your kind eyes, the way that you deal, the way that you live, that will impact on them. But there very much is a big divide at the moment with the mental energy and the heart energy. So those that have been in their heads, their ego, their sadness, their despair, their depression, are really, really, really struggling. It's part of what we're seeing, where people are taking their lives who have, on the face of it, got a lot to live for, but they haven't yet found that part of them inside. So you beaming that out, you sitting in that yourself, sitting in the joy, sitting in the love, is going to really beam out there to the world. I'm going to draw some cards. 1818 is on my clock when I'm doing this. Won't be that on yours, because obviously I'll trim some of the video, but that just tells me, again, being aware of the call to action. So I'm going to draw a card. I don't know how many, but I'm going to use some from the Herbal Astrology cards just to give us a little bit of insight into what is coming for this period up till the 8th of August. And to see what we need to know. Okay, Damiana, the beloved. So when I see this one, it's a union, exactly what I've talked about, that divine masculine and feminine, the sun, the moon, the combination of the both. The messenger there being the bird, the cup flowing in, the intuition flowing in, and the portal, the gateway, the number 11, the divine timing. Couldn't have really said it better, could I? Like, you can't plan this stuff. So love that. It's virtually saying that we are coming into a period of divine, and I am just going to look at the book with this one because they're new cards that I've got, and ruler is Venus and Pluto. Now, I always say this, I'm not an astrologer. I find it very hard to understand astrology, but I understand little, and it's governed by Venus and Pluto, and Venus and Pluto are, I know, very much in the sky at the moment. So for those of you that are the astrologers, you might put a little bit in there about, Venus, I always feel, is that energy of love. Pluto, I have no idea, but I know this is about alchemy. It's about change. It's about transformation, and it represents this journey that we're on of coming together. And I did hear that Pluto is going to be doing something for 9 months next year, and I went, okay, 9 months is the time it takes to have a baby, so that's that birthing something, and then it's in wherever it is for 20 years, and I went, okay, so we're really being supported by this Pluto energy. And my bad for not knowing, but if I just tap into what it's about, for me it's about bringing things together. There's a tying of knots, there's a union, a communion that comes with that. So I'm also going to use the Sacred Earth Oracle cards, so I'll do a couple from there. And I just like doing the cards because that's what I do. I like doing the cards. It gives me a bit of a buzz to see what else Spirit want to bring through on an energetic level. Let's see what else we get. Wow, love this. Okay, simply says magnetism. And if you look at that, they look like a couple of fire dragons. And that beautiful energy of the sun there. So the Leo energy, the sun, but what are you drawing to you? And there's also even that space. I think there's two, well, there are two. So again, we've got this energy of union, of couples, of magnetism. bringing to you what you want, the success of things that you've been working on. In Australia, when we have a bushfire, there are certain plants that will only grow when they've been through the physical fire. Planet's on fire at the moment, isn't it? So we are going through the fire, both physically and metaphysically. And going through the fire is going through your fear. It's going through your judgment. It's going through your inability to forgive, your inability to let go, or unwillingness sometimes, or not knowing how. It's going through your sadness. It's going through your grief. When you go through the fire and you go through that, you create this beautiful opening within you that will bring in exactly what you need and want, which in turn will bring that energy of productivity. So beautiful sun energy in here as well, inner child, mother, beautiful energy, again, combination with you of mother, father, son, you know, the energy of the Trinity, really. It's saying you are both masculine, feminine, you are child, you are crone or elder, you know, wise person, you are all of these things. So when you combine all of that, bring it together, it can be pretty amazing. Okay, one more before I finish, and also at this point say thank you, as I always do, to those of you who have subscribed and those of you that are new subscribers. Oh God, I love this work. It says dependability, but again, what we've got there is a couple together. I don't know if you can see it because of my lights. Beautiful colors, and just this beauty of the wisdom that sits between them. It feels like that's a beautiful golden lotus flower between masculine, feminine, man, woman. And saying, you know, in your relationships, if you have been through your fire, if you've been more honest, if you've been able to communicate and let go, you'll find much stronger relationships, potentially a lot of new relationships forming, a lot of new collaborations, win-win partnerships happening too in this period of time, all designed to help bring things to light that are for the greater good. Because we're moving away from this one focused, one person winning. It's more, we're moving into the Aquarian collaboration, but also the wisdom that's between your masculine self, you know, and your feminine self. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, lovely people, thank you so much for listening, and I really love you and your comments and your love and your support. So thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you again later in the week. Lots of love and take care. Bye for now.